The Cavs went into OKC and handled them, won by 23 points on their home floor. Most likely the best performance the Cavaliers have put together all season. And I know people have written this season off as Golden State's back-to-back championship, but I would just say, hold on 1 second. We just saw the Blazers blow out the Warriors. Dame Lillard put up 51. They struggled against the Clippers. And the Cavaliers, since firing David Black, they have beat the Spurs soundly, and now the Thunder on their home court by 23 points. So I would say just hold on a second. This Cavaliers team may have enough to get the job done. And we can't forget, they added Channing Frye to the mix as well. Welcome back to the Best Damn Sports Blog. Back again to talk NBA with you guys, specifically the Cavaliers and Thunder, because they played yesterday in a midday game on Sunday, ABC. Thought it was going to be great, and it was relatively great, especially when we're talking about the performance the Cavaliers put together. But the game was not close. Once it hit the second half, it was murder she wrote for the Thunder. They end up losing by 23 points. Kevin Durant had a pretty good night. He had 26 points. Russell Westbrook almost had another triple-double, 20 points, 11 assists, and 9 rebounds. But what OKC's problem is, they just don't get enough production from others on their team. And for that reason, I can't take them seriously as a contender to knocking off Golden State in that Western Conference. Me personally, I only think San Antonio has the chance to knock off Golden State. I give the Clippers maybe a better chance than OKC because although they do have a new coach, it's still the same game plan offensively. Get out the way and let Russell Westbrook or Kevin Durant handle the business. And that can only get you so far, especially in the playoffs when the game slows down and it becomes a half-court game. Now, as far as the Cavaliers go, this was a great performance from them. You have to take into consideration they had no Iman Shumpert, no Mo Williams, and Kyrie Irving played a total of 9 minutes because he had the flu. And they still went into OKC and blew out the Thunder. A Thunder team that played Golden State well, and people jumped on the bandwagon and started to think that they could knock off the Warriors. That same Oklahoma City Thunder team on their home floor got it handed to them by the Cavaliers, led by Kevin Love, who actually is starting to get touches in the post and at the top of the elbow, and that is his game. He is more than just a three-point shooter. He is not Ryan Anderson. And when the Cavs are able to utilize him where he is best suited, which is the post, the elbow, and such, this Cavs team can play with the best of them. Now, the one thing to take into consideration is there was no Kyrie Irving on the floor, and I've seen some interesting stats that show on average Kevin Love gets more attempts and is more productive when Kyrie Irving is off the floor than when he is on the floor. Now, some hear that, and of course, they would say, duh, Kyrie Irving is a ball-dominant point guard, and all of that is fact. My point in bringing that up is that the Cavaliers are best suited to have LeBron James running the show. His basketball IQ may be the best in NBA history. This guy always makes the right play, whether that's him taking it to the rack or him finding Kevin Love in the corner or J.R. Smith or using the pick and roll with Tristan to open up mismatches. LeBron James is the quintessential point guard of this Cavaliers team, not Kyrie Irving. And that's okay because Kyrie Irving is what he is, and that's a scorer, a flat-out scoring machine. He can hit the three, he's good with the mid-range jumper, and we know he can finish at the rim with the best of them at his size. All three players are necessary for the Cavaliers to make that finals run. They'll just need LeBron James to be running the show for them to have a real legitimate shot of knocking off the Warriors. Like I stated, his basketball IQ is out of this world, and Kevin Love needs to get favorable touches. Kyrie Irving, he will need to get his as well. LeBron is the best distributor on this team. And when he's out there distributing the wealth, this team is hard to stop. The Cavs, they have all the necessary pieces. They have the wing defender in Shumpert. They have the bruiser down low in Tristan Thompson to do all the dirty work. They have the shooters in Kevin Love, J.R. Smith, Mo Williams if necessary. And now the addition of Channing Frye, which I'll get into in a minute. But under Tyronn Lue, this Cavaliers team looks farly improved than what they used to look under David Blatt. They're actually getting out and running, and Kevin Love is actually getting touches in favorable positions, and he's looking like more than just an overpriced Ryan Anderson. He looks like he could be a top 10, the top 15 player in the NBA, which we knew him to be prior to him joining the Cavaliers. Now, before I get out of here, I want to touch on the Channing Frye signing because most people laughed it off and said it's not really much. And to some extent, I agree with that, but they didn't sign Channing Frye to come in here and be a game changer per se. But just know what he brings to the table can help the Cavaliers get over the hump, because there is a possibility that they could play Channing Frye at the center, Kevin Love at the 4, LeBron at the 3, JR at the 2, Kyrie at the 1, to combat against Golden State's small ball lineup with Draymond at center. That may work to some extent. Or if that's not how they plan to use Frye, when Kevin Love is off the floor, they have another three-point shooter out there that plays the same position, so they always have that stretch 4 player out there on the floor. Let's also not forget, Channing Frye was a part of those Phoenix Suns teams. They did underachieve, but won 60-plus games and were going into deep playoff runs. So he's been in big-time situations. He hasn't always performed great in them, but he's also hit big-time shots for the Suns as well. So he's no stranger to the big stage. And if he can hit just one game winner in the playoffs or a clutch 3 in the playoffs for the Cavs, then that makes this trade worth it in the end. And also, on the conspiracy front, if the Cavs do decide to move on from Kevin Love, say they don't win the title this season, Channing Frye is nowhere near the player Kevin Love is. But what Kevin Love has been relegated to so far in his tenure in Cleveland, Channing Frye could live up to that and replace Kevin Love. So just keep that in mind. If the Cavaliers don't win, that may be why they indeed signed Channing Frye as a replacement to Kevin Love.